Excellent. Right, that's working.
They had a very stressful afternoon because Alexander's gone off to a scout, a leadership training for scouts. So
Mm.
he went off to scout camp. So I needed to pack. But he also had still homework for school and he wanted to do it before. And all of this is done online. And they have this program called Sparks. Really irritating because they want you to do it well. And so you have to do your homework. And when you do it well, you go on to the next thing. And there was one question he just couldn't answer. So I asked David. David came up with the same answer as he did, but clearly the computer said no. So they then went online. How do you do this? It came up with the same answers they had, but the computer said no. And so he became more and more irate. So, oh, I get because they get good points or bad points. I get a bad point because I haven't done my homework and I can't do it. And stress. Oh my goodness. But you haven't managed to do it either, did you?
No, no, and well, it was just a calculation of an area,
Mm.
and I don't know. I thought it was all pretty much okay, and they even give an example, and I calculated the example, and that came out exactly as it should be. And
Mm.
then I did what they asked me to do, and then the computer said, "Sorry."
All these trick questions where it's,
I think so.
it's a square and it's slightly not quite a square or something like that. Yeah. Uh, you can always send it to me and I'll have a look at it later when I get home, see if I come up with the same answer.
I tell you, it's yeah. I don't know. It made no sense anymore because I thought, well, they give you an example. I calculated the example and that worked fine. So I thought, well, if I do exactly the same, but then with the new measurements,
Yeah,
then that's what it should be.
yeah.
No, yeah,
The-
a computer did it by itself, and it's exactly the same as what I did.
yeah.
Well, I'm wrong. The computer say it's like that, and that's wrong. I don't know anymore.
So, well, it's modern maths is so different to what I learned at school. It's
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it was already when the kids were little and they had to add up and, we put things underneath each other. You just do what you do. But they have completely different systems. I thought, what on earth are they doing? And they're jumping things. And how does that make any sense to them? But yeah.
yeah, it's very different. It's all very different now.
Yeah. But yeah, we had and then of course, and he had to eat before he would leave, and he had to pack, and he had to change into his scout uniform.
Yeah, it was all a bit stressy.
Oh my goodness me.
When's he back? Sunday night?
Sunday afternoon.
Afternoon, yeah. Oh. Oh dear. I remember my daughter. Sorry, so my daughter one year had the school went away to like school camp, but it was on Yom Kippur. So we had the agreement that we could drive her out there that evening after Yom Kippur was out. We would jump in the car, drive her to Surrey or wherever it was,
Mm.
and she could join them like at the end of that day. And they just got all the kids to bed, and then Haley walked in, and all the kids were up again. Haley's here, and it was like pandemonium in the dormitory because she arrived late, and it was like everybody wanted to talk to her. And they just got them all settled, and all of a sudden they're all out of bed talking, and so a big cheer went up when she arrived, which was really nice.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah. So we got agreement from the school because we said, look, we can't. If she wants to come, she can't travel because it's Yom Kippur, but we will bring her down, and then she can join you for the rest of the week. So it
Yeah.
worked out really well in the end. Yeah.
It's tough, these things. And yeah, normally when they go to JFS, it's all fine. But yeah, this and he went to a Jewish Cups group, but there weren't any Jewish scouts.
Yeah.
So now he has to go vegetarian, which he hates. He says they have the most disgusting vegetarian sausages. So yeah, but
I went to see my father the other day, and he wanted spaghetti, and like he normally has kosher meat, but we didn't have enough kosher meat. And I said, I could go out and get some normal mincemeat, but it would upset him. Yeah, he will eat non-kosher occasionally, but he didn't want to, didn't want to upset him. So we made a really nice vegetable, like bolognese, which had sort of leeks, mushrooms, onions, carrots, lentils, anything else I could throw in there. It was really nice. And I said, well, what? He said, what we got? And I told him, he said, what is it with you and your sister with all this vegetable stuff? Don't we have meat anymore? And it's like, can't win. You've got the choice. You can have vegetables, which are kosher, or you can have non-kosher meat, but it's entirely up to you. Can't win. I can't win. So sister gets all this corn stuff, and
Yeah.
it's quite funny. I open the fridge and there's this sausages in it. It says, I can't believe it's not pork because it's the
Oh,
plant-based.
yes,
But
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, with Alexander's also, yeah. What? You said I'm vegetarian, but I'm not vegetarian. I said, yes, I know, but you do think they're going to buy a kosher sausages for you alone?
I remember my daughter, she said, we were doing like sort of Christmas dinner. She said, can we have pigs in blankets? And I said, no, we're not doing pigs in blankets, but I'll see what I can do. And I managed to get beef sausages and I managed to get the, what was it? It was like smoked turkey rashers, so it just wasn't the same. No, it wasn't the same for her. She was very disappointed. I did, but
Yeah, you cannot win, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, how
we
funny.
had a great experience. We were in South Africa, and they, they said we're all going out. It was like a company thing. We're going out for a barbecue and a roasted hog and all this stuff. And we said, well, look, we can't have that because we're Jewish. And they said, well, would you like kosher? And we said, yeah, kosher barbecue sounds great. And when we got out there, these platters came out, and it was all kosher, and it was lamb chops, and there was sausages, and there was steak in there, and it was like, and everybody else had to go up and sort of go to get their bit of carved pig or whatever, and we're sitting with these platters full of like food. It was amazing, and
Wow.
herb. It really was good. They really did look after us. So it was.
Wow, that's good. I went to a trip, well, as
Oh yeah,
students
in
to
Germany.
Germany, and yeah, you had to say what your food preferences were, and I thought, well, surely they're not able to get me kosher, so I said vegetarian, and we were in some little village somewhere in Germany. They really didn't know what vegetarian was, so they thought, well, vegetarians don't eat probably. Because every evening, while they had all these, and they had lots of meat, they had all these platters of meat on, and every night, I got a plate with 3 little potatoes with a slice of melted cheese over it and about 5 peas. And that was all I got to eat. It was terrible. I was hungry the whole time.
But I mean, we've done it. We've traveled before, and because on the airlines now you can always order kosher. And I think we went. I can't remember where we went, and Mandy's food came up, and it was like you normally on an airline you get like a roll, a starter, a main course, and
Yeah.
dessert. On the kosher one, you get a roll, you get a salad, you get a starter, you get 2 desserts, a big main course, and everybody was looking at her this little tray she's got, and it's like, where did you get all this food from? It's like, well, it's what your grandmother would have given you, It was-
We we had that once as well when
Yeah,
I
we did.
can't remember where we went, but we had kosher
That's
as well.
right.
And the kids too, and they were a lot smaller then. And we had these huge platters.
the-
Do we have to eat this?
that's- oh. Oops.
Ah,
It's it could be Linda. It is.
yes. Hello.
So we have all our Zoom hosts are here anyway.
Yes.
Hi Linda, how are you?
Hello.
You look very confused.
Yeah.
It's me. I'm in the shadows, I'm afraid.
He hear us.
Linda,
Hmm.
you hear us? Yeah, you hear us
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, good. Good.
Okay. That's it. Well, it's 6:30 and there's 3 of us here. I'm hoping we'll get some more. We'll give it.
Yeah.
So if not, I think we just have to start and
And make the best of it.
not what else we can really do, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, Rania often will join, but slightly late.
Yes. Yes.
So we'll see if anybody else turns up in a minute.
And Danielle often comes.
Yes, yes.
I haven't seen Dean in ages. Do you know if he's okay? I
Yeah,
don't know how to
I've seen him
contact
for a long
him.
time. He started not coming when we started doing the in-person services.
I know,
He
which is
was
really sad.
regular on when we were just doing it on Zoom, but
Yeah.
once we started in person, he came to a couple of them. But I think if he's, I don't know, he's not seen him for ages though.
No, which is a pity.
Yeah. Right, well, I'm going to go on mute, and I think I will share my screen, and then we'll just see if anybody else arrives in the fullness.
Right. Okay. There we get screen share. Fantastic. Right. Okay, well, Shabbat Shalom, and we are a very, very small community today, but yeah, and I'm sorry that even as a small community, we can't really share our sound. However, before we start, let me just put this on, so I feel more like we are doing a service. Let me put my towels on. And Shabbat Shalom. And let's start with a meditation. Lovely writing by Nachman of Bratslav. Maybe better this way. Forget everybody and everything during your worship. Forget yourself and your needs. Forget the people of whom you have need. Then, in truth, you may worship God. When you offer prayer, imagine yourself as one who is newly born, without achievements of which to be proud, without high family descent to make you arrogant. Forget all dignity and self-esteem. Remember only your Maker. Before the prayers, remember any good qualities you have or any good deeds which you have performed. This will put life into you and enable you to pray from the heart. So let us indeed let go of everything else and just focus on our good deeds. And with that, let's start with Matovo as we create this sense of holy space. Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkanotecha Yisrael. Matovu, Ohaleich Leah, Mishkanotayich Rachel. And let's light the Shabbat candles. And well, Linda, if you want to light some candles as well, if you have them at hand, we can do it together. Otherwise, I'll just do it for all of us here. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech olam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק ner shel Shabbat. Now, we have created this holy time. Suddenly, it's Shabbat. And so, let's turn to Yaribon, this lovely Aramaic song. All of these songs that we sing just before Shabbat really look at the God as creator and bringing this sense of creation. And with that, of course, a sense of peace, because God's creation at the beginning was perfect. There was peace. But then we as humans, we made a bit of a mess of it. So Yaribon. Yaribon ahalam ve'almaya ve'almaya antu malka melech malchaya ovad gvuratech ve'timhaya שפיר קודמך, והחוויה יריבון אהלם ועלמיה, ועלמיה אנתו מלכה מלך מלכיה, מלך מלכיה. שבחים מסדר צפרה ורמשה, צפרה ורמשה, לחלה קדישה, דיברה כל נפשה, דיברה כל נפשה. עירים קדישין ובני אנשה, חבד בהרה ואופי שמיה, יריבון אהלם ועלמיה, ועלמיה אנתו מלכה מלך מלכיה, מלך מלכיה. רברבין עובדייך ותקיפין, ותקיפין, מחך רמיה זקף כפיפין, זקף כפיפין, לא יחק בשנין, אהלפין, לא יעול גבורתך, בחשבנה יריבון אהלם ועלמיה, ועלמיה אנתו מלכה מלך מלכיה, מלך מלכיה. It's a very happy song for Shabbat. And now we go to the first of the Psalms for Kabbalat Shabbat, Psalm 95. לכו לרננה לאדוני, נריע לצוישנו, נקט מפניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו, כי אל גדול אדוני, הוא מלך גדול על כל אלוהים, אשר בידו מחקרי הארץ, וטועפות ההרים לו, אשר לא הים והוא עשהו, והיבשת ידיו יצרו. בואו נשתחווה ונכרע, נפרחה לפני אדוני עושנו, כי הוא אלוהינו ואנחנו אמר איתו צאן ידו. היום אם בקולו תשמעו. And we don't do the blue bit. And that brings us to Lechadodi. Lechadodi, where we really bring in the Shabbat bride, the sense of this extra feeling of Shabbat that enlightens our week, this day, this sense of rest, and this fullness of soul. We say on Shabbat you get an extra soul, an extra attunement to soulness. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, פני שבת נקבלה. שמו וזכו בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשמו תפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, בני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמונה עם סגולה, בואי חלה בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, ידדי ידדי ידדי, בני שבת נקבלה. And so we turn to Psalm 93, one of the Psalms for Shabbat. Adonai malach gehut lavesh, lavesh Adonai os hitazarafti kontever baltimut. Nachon kisacha meaz meolam ata, nasa'u neharot Adonai, nasa'u neharot kolam. ייסעו נהרות דוח ים, מקולות מים רבים, אדירים משברי ים, אדיר במרום אדוני. עדותיך נמנו מאוד, לביתך נא בקודש, אדוני אדוני לאורך ימים. And this brings us to the beginning, the real beginning of the service, the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. Let us read together. Blessed are you, our God and Creator, sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on the evening twilight, who opens the gates of dawn with wisdom, and with foresight makes times pass and seasons change. Your plan sets the stars in their courses in the sky, creating day and night, turning light into darkness and darkness into light. You make the day fade away and bring on the night, separating day and night. You are the ruler of the hosts of heaven. Blessed are you, God, who brings on the evening twilight. Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chokim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu ufkumenu nasiach v'chokecha v'nismach v'na'aloz b'divrei toratecha u'mitzvotecha v'chukotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu באורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם בלילה, נגי יומם בלילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב את עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד, ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך, בכל נפשך, ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, ובשעתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. We read the second and third paragraph of the Shema in silence until the man tizkoru. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. אמת ואמונה כל זאת וקיים עלינו, כי הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואין זולתו, ואנחנו ישראל עמו. העושה גדולות עד אין חקר, ונפלאות עד אין מספר, וראו בניו קורתו, שיבחו והודו לשמו ומלכותו, ברצון קיבלו עליהם. משה ומרים ובני ישראל, לך ענו שירה בשמחה רבה, ואמרו כולם, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך אדוני אלוהינו, ראו בניך על הים, יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. Source of our life and our sovereign, cause us to lie down in peace and rise again to enjoy life. Spread over us the covering of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel and save us for the sake of your name. Be a shield about us, turning away every enemy, disease, violence, hunger, and sorrow. Remove the temptation that awaits us and the guilt that lies behind us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you are a God who guards and protects us, a ruler of mercy and compassion. Guard us when we go out and when we come in, to enjoy life and peace, both now and forever, and spread over us the shelter of your peace. Blessed are you, God, spreading the shelter of peace over us, over your people Israel, and over all the world. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, לדורותם ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל. אותי לעולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל. אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת, שבת ויהי נפש. And we now come to the Amidah. Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואלוהי אמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי יצחק, אלוהי רבקה, ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי רחל, ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, קונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גואל לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם פוקד שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. You made the seventh day holy to your name as the end of the creation of heaven and earth. You blessed it above all other days and made it holier above all other times. And so it is written in your Torah, ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל טבעם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה. ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, רצנה במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך, שים חלקנו בתורתך, סבנו מטובך, שמח נפשנו בישועתך, וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת, והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו, באהבה וברצון שבת קודשך, וינוחו בה כל ישראל, בקדשי שמך. ברוך אתה אדוני, בקדש השבת. Our living God, be pleased with your people Israel, and listen to their prayers. In your great mercy, delight in us, so that your presence may rest upon Zion. Our eyes look forward to your return to Zion in mercy. Blessed are you, God, ever restoring your presence to Zion. מודים אנחנו לך, שאתה הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו לעולם ועד. צורנו, צור חיינו, ומגן אישנו, אתה הוא לדור ודור. נודה לך ונספר תהילתך, על חיינו המסורים בידיך, ועל נשמותינו הפקודות לך, ועל ניסיך שבכל יום עמנו, ועל נפלאותיך וטובותיך שבכל עת, ערב, בבוקר וצהריים. הטוב כי לא חלו רחמך, המרחם כי לא תמו חסדיך, כי מעולם קיווינו לך. ועל כולם יתברך ויתרומם ויתנשא, תמיד שמך מלכנו לעולם ועד. בכל החיים יודוך סלה, והללו ויברכו את שמך הגדול באמת, האל ישועתנו ועזרתנו סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, הטוב שמך ולך נאה להודות. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם, שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. בטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני, המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום. We take some silence, a bit of time to read the meditation, and then we'll all join in for Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל העולם. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל העולם. So, well, it is a very special week, I think. Quite a nerve-wracking week because we've heard about the hostage deal that has been made, a ceasefire deal, which, as far as I know, is going to go ahead and start on Sunday. It is it's exciting that this is happening finally, but there's so many question marks, and I hope this is really the end of the fighting, and that somehow it will lead to peace. And of course, it seems odd that so often things in the world happen that somehow find a parallel or a connection with our Torah portion. And our Torah portion today, of course, well, tomorrow we will be reading, is Exodus. It's Shemot, the very beginning of the book of Exodus, which brings us the story of the Israelites who are still in Egypt, even though Joseph has long died, Jacob has died. They should have gone back to Israel, but they're still in Egypt. And the situation is not good. They're held. They're not hostages, but they're slaves. They're held by Pharaoh. And their whole existence is horrible because there are so many of them that the Egyptians see them as a threat. And something there in that story we can recognize in what's going on in Israel and Gaza, this sense of each seeing the other as the enemy. And I find it very distressing to read that even after this ceasefire has been agreed, Hamas still claims that's a victory because they haven't been eliminated as Israel had hoped to do. Despite all the suffering in Gaza and all the destruction. And of course, Israel sees Hamas also as the enemy who has not been eliminated. And how will this trust that we see in our parasha, the distrust of the Egyptians, of the Israelites, because there are so many of them, and the Pharaoh fears that the Israelites would turn on Egypt if if they would be ever attacked, that there would be a fifth column in his own country. And that's interesting, of course, because would he treat the Israelites much better, there would not be a fear of being attacked. And so there is all this mistrust, all this breakdown in relationships, and all this suffering that's going on. But we know that when we start with reading Exodus, we know that it's going to change. And we know that the Israelites will come out. And so we also have to hold on to the hope that with this ceasefire, there will be peace and there will be a rebuilding of Gaza. There has to be. That there will be a rebuilding somehow of some kind of rapprochement between those two people, because there have to be, because they live the same piece of land, and they have to find a way of working together. And I strongly believe that that will happen. And in the Torah portion, we see the change comes all the time in incremental small steps, in little steps that could be so easily being dismissed. First they go and they come by people who are so evil. We see the Egyptians treating the Israelites so badly, the Pharaoh, and yet we see there are people who just defy that evil decree, who just do things that they feel is right in their eyes. First and most of the beginning of that story of redemption actually comes through women, which is very interesting, because women don't have a big role in the Torah, but in Shemot they have. First, we have the midwives who are ordered by Pharaoh to kill all the baby boys, all the Jewish baby boys that are being born, that as soon as they see them being born and they see it's a boy, they have to kill them. And they just don't do it. And they say to Pharaoh, I'm really sorry, but Jewish women are so quick in giving birth that they're already there when we come. So what can we do? But they just defy the Pharaoh. Then it comes from in-house. Is he scared of a fifth column? Well, his fifth column is actually right there in his house. His daughter. His daughter finds Pharaoh, who his mother also defying the law, because she is keeping Moses hidden, and that when she knows she can't hide him anymore, she puts him in this little basket in the reeds of the River Nile. Suf, it's called, the reed. And later they will go through the Yam Suf to the Reed Sea, and it's interesting. There's a lot coming back in all these things, and so Pharaoh's daughter is bathing in the Nile, and she sees this basket and she gets it. She sees. She has her eyes wide open and she opens it and she sees a little baby boy, and she knows immediately that must be a Jewish boy. But she doesn't throw him back in the river. She adopts him as her own. She saves him. And he grows up right in the palace under the nose of Pharaoh. And it's then Moses who is the one who also learns to open his eyes. Maybe he learned that from his adoptive mother, from the Pharaoh's daughter, because the first time he opens his eyes is when he goes to see his own people. He sees how they're mistreated by the Egyptians, and he then kills one of the Egyptian taskmasters. That then leads him to flee from Egypt. It also leads to a real identification that actually he isn't an Egyptian prince, and he might be living in the palace, but he belongs somewhere else. But he's mistrusted by the others. They can't see what he is. So he goes and flees to Midian, where he is being taken in by his to-be father-in-law, Jethro. He marries Jethro's daughter. He starts a whole new life. And then once again, he sees something weird. He sees the burning bush. He could have walked past it, but it says he just turned And the rabbis, they work on this. They have so many disagreements. Did he properly turn? Did he walk by and then went, wow, like that? Or did he just did this? Oh, look at that. And they say, why is that important? They say it's important because if anything happens in the world and you are part of it, you can be a bystander and just walk off. Or you can actually turn your eyes, look at it, or actually turn completely. And by doing that, you can change the course of history. And that's what Moses did. Just by looking that something wasn't right. And by noticing that and trying to do something, he turned the course of history for his own people. So who knows? We know that brokering this ceasefire has taken a very long time. Who knows what actually made this happen? Maybe it is because Trump is going to become president again. Who knows? But somebody must have seen that this was the time. And I hope that they will keep on looking and look for peace. Because in the end of the day, peace is the only solution. We just don't know when it comes. And let's hope that this ceasefire and the return of the hostages who've suffered so much, that it will indeed lead to peace and a satisfactory solution somehow, that Israel can live in peace with its neighbors. And that such a destruction as we've seen will never happen again. And all this pain and sorrow that we've seen, that it may not happen again, and that it actually will lead to something better. Ken Yeh Ratzon, may this be indeed what God wants, and may it happen very soon. And with that, let us turn to the Aleinu, which has this real vision of a better time. Oh, I better take it off. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים, ונתן לנו את תורתו, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ועושה את הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו, וכופי עולמים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, ידעת היום השבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. Therefore, Almighty God, we put our hope in you. Soon let us witness the glory of your power, when the worship of material things shall pass away from the earth, and prejudice and superstition shall at last be cut off. When the world will be set right by the rule of God, and all humanity shall speak out in your name, and all the wicked of the earth shall turn to you. Then all who inhabit this world shall meet in understanding, and shall know that we are partners in the repairing of your world. For yours alone is the true kingdom, and only the glory of your rule endures forever. So it is written in your Torah, the Eternal shall rule forever and ever. So it is prophesied, the Eternal shall be sovereign over all the earth. On that day, the Eternal shall be one and known as one. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. The souls of the righteous are in the hands of God, and no harm shall come to them. God, source of compassion, you give life in which joys and sorrows are mingled, and send death with its promise of eternal peace. In Mosaic Liberal, we mourn the death of Kenneth Herman, father of Ruth. And in Mosaic Reform, we mourn the death of John Barnett, husband of Sonia and father of Jonathan and Simon. May you comfort their families and all who mourn for them. May God, who is full of compassion, whose presence is over us, cover them in the shelter of your wings forever, and bind their souls into the gathering of life. We remember at this time all those who once shared with us the joys and challenges of life, but who are with us no longer. May their souls shine like the brightness of the heavens. We thank you for all you gave them during their lives. We think especially of those who died at this time in years past. So we think of Alfred Bird, father of Ross Lobb, and Lawrence Bird and Ian Bird. And Ross, I wish you long life. We also think of Celia Wasserstein, mother of Bertha Levy and Marilyn Sanford, Doreen Walpole, mother of Jane Prentice, Elaine Abrahams, mother of Anne Sedan, Emmanuel Marks, father of Judith Feldman, Goldie Sklar, mother of Arlene Howard and Viv Block, John Sheldon, cousin of Arlene Howard and Viv Block, Lillian Aronson, mother of Ivan Aronson, Michelle Jacobs, sister of Lydia Saphir, Neil David Henry, husband of Pam Henry, Rosa Dorff, mother of Stephen Dorff, and Sarah Breyer, daughter of Norma and Sam Breyer. And in Mosaic Liberal, we remember Archie Cole, grandfather of Celia Hipgrave, Rebecca Gilbert, mother of Shirley Chaffetz, Morris Joel, father of Kay Joel, and Harry Wyman, father of Sheila Goldman. Zichronam livracha. May the memory of their love and guidance be a source of enduring blessing. In loving memory, we sanctify your name, and we say, Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחיי חון וביומי חון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה וזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי די קודשה בריחו. לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, די אמירן בעלמא ואמרו, יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל באמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל העולם באמרו אמן.
Shabbat Shalom. I say, I would normally say ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, Shabbat Shalom. First, I'd like to thank Rabbi Kathleen for taking the service tonight. And Roz, once again, on behalf of us all at Mosaic, we wish you long life, free from further sorrow. In terms of announcement, I haven't got a huge number of announcements. Look at the website, it's all on there. Services tomorrow, 10:30 Reform, led by Rabbi Kathleen. Liberal 10:45, led by Rabbi Daisy, and also Shabbat Shira tomorrow, led by David Pollock, also at 10:45. I think that's about it for now. I would hand back to Rabbi Kathleen and for either Adon or Yigdal.
That's a choice for all of you. And I must say, there are gentlemen, I see. And I see, I think, Stefan, we have to call you David now. Because we have some Davids. That's lovely. Yes, let's have a choice. So we can have Yigdal or Adon Olam. So hand up for Yigdal. Ah, David, Yigdal or Adon Olam? Oh, Yigdal. Oh, we have Yigdal. That is fantastic. Good, Yigdal it is. Usually people go for Adon Olam, but I like Yigdal. It's quite nice. יגדל אלוהים חי וישתבח, נמצא ואין היתר מציאותו, אחד ואין יחיד כייחודו, נעלם וגם אין סוף לאחדותו. אין לו דמות הגוף ואינו גוף, לא נערוך אליו קדושתו, קדמון לכל דבר אשר נברא, ראשון ואין ראשית לראשיתו. הינו אדון עולם לכל נוצר, יורה גדולתו ומלכותו, שפע נבואתו נתנו, אל אנשי סגולתו ותפארתו. לא קם בישראל כמו שעוד נביא, ומה ביטל תמונתו, תורת אמת נתן לעמו אל, על יד נביאות נאמן ביתו. לא יחליף האל ולא ימיר דתו, לעולמים לזולתו, צופה ביודע סתרנו, מביט לסוף דבר בקדמותו. גומל לאיש חסית כמפעלו, נותן לרשע רק כרשעתו, ישלח לקץ שמים ושיחנו, לפדות מחכה קץ שבשועתו. מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדעת שם תהילתו. מתים יחייל ברוב חסדו, ברוך הדעת שם תהילתו. So we now turn to the Kiddush. So have your cups ready. And my apologies, by the way, for my nasal sound, but I have a bit of a cold, I'm afraid. So, if you have your wine ready, it says make Kiddush. There we go. Yes? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hakafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש. זכר זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים. You better take his. Now, if you have your challah nearby, we can also do Hamatzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Cut it this time. Wow. B'te'avon and Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And it wasn't the quantity of the congregation, it was the quality. Perfect.
Who else is here? Only me?
Surely not.
No one from Reform. And Linda, you're the only one from, oh my goodness me. Well, thank you so much for coming. And wish you long life, Rose.
Thank you.
Full participant.
I must tell you, we went to shul tonight.
No.
We did. We
Oh,
didn't realise it was only on Zoom. Stupidly, we didn't look. Never mind.
gosh. Well, that's where everybody was then.
They must have been. They must have been. That's why we were a bit late, because we had to get back.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
We thought it was very quiet. We could park without problem. And not a soul there. Never mind. Never mind. We made it.
You made it. And
Yeah.
you know.
Are you feeling better?
And we may have left a talus bag in the street
Yeah.
outside.
David says he might have left his talus bag in the street.
I think we were parked outside the gate,
Yeah.
and I think I had it on my lap. And I got out of the car and I didn't realise I probably dropped it on the street. But I'm sure somebody, if they see it, they'll hand it in.
Yeah.
It's quite obvious what it is.
Yeah.
I have to
hope.
put his name in it.
Well, it hasn't got my name.
No, I know it hasn't.
It will have after
Like
tomorrow
the
if I
kids.
get it back.
Like the
It
kids,
will
you know.
have.
Well,
Always losing something.
I'll have a look tomorrow. But the Masortis are in early first, so they
Somebody will
probably
probably
pick it
see
up.
it. Oh, it
And
might even be here. I haven't checked.
It's not here.
Well, you say it's not. I'll check.
Yeah.
Round.
Yes, and yeah, there's quite a lot of Jewish neighbors around as well,
Yes.
so maybe they'll pick it
Yeah.
up.
Hopefully.
That's
Hopefully.
yeah.
Anyway, we'll see. I'm not going back tonight.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. How terrible.
No. We didn't think. We just assumed there was a service tonight. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Never mind. It was still very nice. Thank you.
Well, it was a
for
pleasure
organising
seeing you. And yes, at first we thought, oh, we're a very, very select group, just Stefan, Linda, David, and me. And that was so nice to see you too. So it's really nice.
I don't think this qualifies as a minion, though, does it?
No.
No, but
You don't see everybody. There's maybe people that look
We have to
at
pretend.
streaming, so you don't
yes,
see
that's
them.
all the other. I count all the other people on the streaming. So hundreds of them. No, I always think there is minyan because otherwise it would be horrible. So yeah, no, for me, this is more than enough minyan.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, well, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
And see you soon. And I'll look out for a talit, a talit bag.
All right. Thank you. all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.